Raider Nation, it's mailbag time. If you haven't already, please make sure you go check out Magic Spoon's awesome cereal. How do you do it? Look at the link that's on screen right now. Go to magicspoon.com/Raiders to get $5 off your very first order. I've been in love with the cocoa, even before I met Magic Spoon, and I absolutely love peanut butter. Here's a pro tip. Mix them together or take the cocoa, get some peanut butter, and you got some of this like Rice Krispies peanut butter balls. It's just absolutely out of this world, and it's healthy for you. MagicSpoon.com/Raiders. So I always tell people when I go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, to use hashtag Raiders or go ahead and super chat. This first super chat's coming in here from Anthony Morales. We got 12 wins without Gruden and horrible defense. We can do it again with this better squad. So I think you're referring back to we got 12 wins without Gruden and a horrible defense. The only time that the Raiders won 12 games was back in 2016, and, well, that one with Gruden. So unless they've won 12 games since Gruden has taken over, but even that math doesn't even kind of make sense. So I think you mean we got 12 games left and we have a better defense or horrible. I'll be honest, Anthony, I don't know where we're going with this, but yes, season's still going. Let's go to Caleb Landry. Tre Flowers was released. Should we pick him up? So cornerback from the Seattle Seahawks, Tre Flowers, was just recently released earlier today on Tuesday. I personally have no interest in him. I think he's kind of a washed-up player, if I'm being 100% honest with you. His skill set reminds me very similarly to Damon Arnett. If I'm going to go after a corner, it's not going to be Tre Flowers. Let's go to the next one coming in here from Richard B. Rent, I don't know, the third. Outside of Cleveland, the 2019 draft was great. We have a ton of solid starters from the draft. Mayock is doing very good for a rookie GM. Very well. I would say out of the 2019 draft, but I actually don't really agree with this because Josh has been good, but he's been banged up. Jonathan Abram, by no way or any sense of the imagination, has been worth a first-round pick. Now, sure, some of those other guys that we found were some diamonds in the rough, and yes, I get that. However, there was also still some other picks that did not make a lot of sense, and having one good draft doesn't make up for all your other drafts that, let's face it, have been kind of a failure thus far. Let's go to Raider Carlos. Leftwich, Dable, or B, enemy, enough said. I think that Brian Dable and Eric Bieniemy are in a tier of their own, though also, if anybody out there wants Eric Bieniemy, I encourage you to go look at some of his past issues that he's had because he's got some things on his past rep that don't look very good, honestly. Byron Leftwich is super aggressive, but if I could pick just about anyone, I'd probably go ahead and say Brian Dable. Let's go to Yo-Yo Jim. What up, Yo-Yo? Should the Raiders bring back Jack Del Rio? So yesterday when I went live for the Raiders news about, them basically letting go of Jon Gruden, you can say what you want. Jack Del Rio was a name that came up so often, and shout out to Jeremy for making this quick here. So how about this, y'all? I'll give you my answer right after I hear y'all's answers. Should the Raiders hire Jack Del Rio to be their new head coach in 2022? If you're like, hell yeah, Mitch, they absolutely should. I want you to go ahead and type H for hire. If you're going to sit here and type P for pass, you can go ahead and do so. I'm simply going to say P for pass simply because I don't want Jack Del Rio. I get that he was once a Raiders coach. I get that a lot of you are going to go ahead and bring his name up. The hire of Jack Del Rio would make absolutely zero sense to me. I know that he's worked with Derek Carr. However, I want somebody who's a little bit younger, somebody with more of a creative mind who's probably going to be able to go ahead and potentially bring in maybe a new quarterback. And if that's the case, then so be it. But I would be very upset if the Raiders went out and hired Jack Del Rio. I think that would be a very even kind of move compared to Jon Gruden and Jack Del Rio. All right, we got one coming in now from Rudy5453. Give Mayock a chance. Gruden would fall in love with players and had his way. I agree with that. I always got the feeling that Mayock wasn't free to make his own choices. I still think when you gave somebody 10 years, $100 million, at the end of the day, it was Gruden's decision, and Mayock and Mark Davis put way too much power in Gruden's hands. Now, I am curious to see if Mayock can succeed a little bit better. However, I do find it very hard to believe that all the draft, all the free agency, all the moves that the Raiders made were solely on Gruden, because when you look at a lot of the trades the Raiders have made recently, they have not been good. When you look at a lot of the extensions, they have not been good. When you look at some of the roster moves in general, they have not been good. I get that Gruden had a lot of power, But Mayock, I just find it hard to believe that he had no say in it whatsoever. Now, if you guys are looking for some awesome choices out there, I know we talk a lot about head coaching candidates and here and there. My number one choice out there for cereals is this. Low carb, sweet and delicious, high in protein. 13 to 14 grams of protein in some Magic Spoon cereal. I personally recommend getting the variety of 4-packs simply because I like variety in my life. And usually, some people are like, Mitch, the Magic Spoon cereal is a little bit pricey. I mean, you're going to pay a little bit higher price for quality. Would you rather pay for a bunch of junk and a bunch of sugar and a bunch of crap that's going to make you fat? No, I would hope not. If you do, that's up to you. But imagine being able to eat the cereal that you want. It tastes great. It's GMO friendly. It's also keto friendly. I mean, there's just no bad ingredients in this stuff. It's magicspoon.com/Raiders. Let's go to Got NYSD. Is Leatherwood playing offensive guard again? What options do we have? Broncos are a beatable team, but I thought the same for the Bears. Who do we have as options? Alex Leatherwood, I believe from here on out, is going to be a guard in the NFL, simply because his footwork isn't fast enough to be a tackle. He is built more to be an offensive guard, and I was actually pretty impressed by the way that Leatherwood played this past week. Sure, there was a few head scratchers and bad plays, but so be it, it's going to happen. He played left guard, he played right guard. I just don't see him moving out of there. And then in terms of other options that the Raiders have at the guard position, Richie Incognito's probably not going to be back until week 9, which really sucks there. I don't have confidence in Lester Cotton. I think the one move that I really want to see is either you get Andre James out of center because he's so far the biggest reason why the offensive line stinks, and either give Nick Martin a shot, or if you don't have confidence in Nick Martin, give the rookie Jimmy Morrissey a shot, because what Andre James has done, you can't be any worse than him right now. Let's go to LC Raider. Hey, Mitch, let's just say the new coaches decide to move on to Carr. Who are some quarterback prospects in college we should pay attention to? Here's probably the biggest problem with this question here. There aren't really many college quarterbacks that I've really been excited about. I mean, the latest mock draft that Chat Sports did, if you guys want to go check it out, it's on the channel. And here's the problem. The number one quarterback that everyone was projecting to go early on was Spencer Rattler. I don't think he gets drafted in the first round anymore. So there's actually not a quarterback prospect that I can sit here and say, that's the guy that I want. I want to be able to watch a little bit more college football. So to be honest with you, dude, I don't have a great answer for you. Let's go to KingX192. What moves have we made roster-wise now that Jon Gruden is gone? Technically, the very first roster move was letting go of backup quarterback Kyle Slaughter. To everyone out there, it was like, it doesn't really matter. I actually take that as saying it's probably good news, because one of the reports earlier on in the week was that Marcus Mariota was going to try to practice and have a chance to play. The fact that they got rid of Slaughter, to me, says that, hey, Mariota is going to have a pretty good chance to play here. But they also tried out, I believe, 10 players. They worked out 10 players today, yes, which was by far the most out of any NFL team today. So if you guys are always looking for more Raiders news, rumors, or free videos, all I want you to do is hit that big red button underneath the video that says subscribe. We're your one-stop shop, and it's important to turn on your notifications because I want you guys to be notified. I want you guys to know exactly when we go ahead and drop a video here on the channel. So whether it's, news, whether it's breaking rumors or like anything that's possible, I honestly want to be able to keep you guys up to date. So here's how you go ahead and you turn on your notifications. It's a 4-step, very easy process that I'll walk you through. And I'm also going to give some love to the people that I know have their notifications turned on. So I want you to go to your settings app, scroll down, tap YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. Not only is this going to be your chance to be in our first comment club, but it's also going to have your opportunity to get the news before everyone else does. But as I said last week, I do want to give some love to the people that I do know have those noties on. So here were the 5 people that were the first to comment on my last 5 videos here on the Raiders Report. Shout out to Untouchable Raider 1960, Eli Gossman, KC Games YouTube, Jaime Alvarado Sr., and then Joey Bowers. If you want to see your name on a future show, all you got to do is turn on those noties and sub. Let's go to Alfredo Robles. People saying bring back Jack Del Rio are the same ones that said Chris Warren III was going to be a beast. You're not wrong. And it's the same people that are always like, can we bring back Marshawn? Can we bring back Michael Crabtree? Can we bring back Donald Penn? I don't know what it is. I know that we love players that played for us in the past, but don't make sense. Let's go to Raider-wise. Appreciate the $5 Super Chat, man. Thanks for supporting the free show. Let's go to MK1980. Didn't we go to the Super Bowl with an offensive coordinator on 2002? So didn't we go to the Super Bowl with an offensive coordinator? The Raiders did have an offensive coordinator, correct, in 2002. I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to ask me here, but so they did have an OC. Yes, they did. But I also think I'm not really going to give that much credit. I'm also going to give more credit to Gannon and the quarterback there because he was a veteran and he knew what he was doing. So that's important, which the Raiders have here, and Derek Carr. Well, let's go to Dylan Erickson. I don't know why I couldn't read that. Trade for Bill Belichick. That's not going to happen. Or Mike Tomlin. Just kidding. Love the show. Think we need a big Raiders from Mitch for some Raider energy come Sunday. I always bring my energy. I'm going to be there Sunday for a Raiders versus Broncos watch party. It's another reason to sub. We had about 75,000 people watch last week. We've had 5 straight weeks, the most watched watch party on YouTube. So please subscribe. All right, y'all. So how about this? How many more games do y'all think the Raiders are going to win? So predict how many more games the Raiders will win. I'm actually going to say how many games do you think the Raiders are going to win this season. So currently, they're 3-2. I originally projected them to win 10 games, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and stick on that number. But please let me know down in the comments, even though I just saw Nick, the greatness of the Raiders, all say 7, and then Elko says 3. I'll take the over. Let's go to Kevin. Appreciate the super. Props to the shirt, Marcus Allen shout out. If anybody wants the Marcus Allen t-shirt, you can go ahead and get it at blackSundayShop.com. Use code Mitch to save 20%. Let's go to Brett. Hey, Mitch, how do you feel about Leslie Frazier from the Bills? Or do you think him and Gus wouldn't be good since they're both defensive-minded? Bieniemy. I would take Bieniemy first. I just think the way that the NFL is starting to go is just it's more of an offensive-minded league. Therefore, I want an offensive-minded head coach. But Leslie Frazier is a good name. I don't see it happening personally. We got a super chat coming in from Keith Roscoe. What up, my man? Appreciate it. Much love to you. That's the last super chat that I've gotten so far. So now, if you guys want to go ahead and use hashtag Raiders, we'll get them up on the show. Let's go Money Manny. I can't watch Andre James. Would you start Martin or the rookie Jimmy? So Jimmy Morrissey, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, I kind of brought up Nick Martin last week, but apparently, according to a source that's close to me, said that they don't trust Nick Martin. Okay, well, I don't understand after watching 5 games how you can trust Andre James because this man, I know Alex Leatherwood's been getting a lot of attention. The reason why the Raiders' interior offensive line is right now on a historical rate, since 2006, PFF has been grading out run blocking grades. The Raiders right now are on pace to absolutely shatter that record. Why? Because Andre James is bad. So you got to give somebody else a shot. If you don't have confidence in Nick Martin, put out Jimmy Morrissey because I can't imagine he's worse than Andre James right now. So perfect. Shout out to Chugs again. Who should start at center? Let me know down in the comments. I don't want to watch James anymore. We did it for 5 weeks, and he's not only been bad, he's been literally the worst center in football. Think about this. 35 centers have been graded out according to PFF. He's ranked dead last. There are 32 teams in the NFL, so there are backups that have played better than James. That's a major, major problem. Let's go to Michael Scott. This guy's definitely superstitious. Maybe a little stitious, though. I think Mark Davis leaked the email so he can get out of that contract. I actually don't believe that because I know Jon Gruden and Mark Davis are very good friends, and if he wanted to do that, I actually think that he could have had a conversation with Jon and said, hey, man, we're going to just move on from you next year. Remember when you said that you weren't going to take any money? I don't see Davis doing this because he's totally humiliating Gruden. I think it's Roger Goodell because Goodell found out that Gruden called him a you-know-what and was like, all right, let's go ahead and dig, and let's get him the heck out of there. Let's go to Joker Johnson. If Derek Carr managed to still get us to the playoffs and get us to at least the divisional round, do you think the new coach will keep Carr? See, I could still see the coach keeping Carr because he's going to make $19 million and his dead cap hit is nothing. If I was a new NFL coach, I would either A, keep Derek Carr and then go ahead and draft a rookie, or I would keep Derek Carr for this final season, let him play out his contract, and then when the potential quarterback prospects are maybe a little bit better in 2023, then you roll with that dice. But I think unless Carr gets this team to the playoffs, I just don't know if he ultimately comes back. Now, if I didn't get to your guys' question, because what? We got 1,500 people watching this live show right now. I apologize. My DMs, though, I'm going to be honest with y'all, they're an absolute shit show. Like, I'm not kidding you. I'm getting a DM probably about 1 every 4 to 5 minutes. I got that plus 99 thing. It's going to take me a week to get through them all, but I promise you this, I will get through all of them. So if you have any questions, hit me up at MitchellRenz365.